Welcome. My name is David Maimoni, and I am a special education resource teacher in the Office of Special Education, or OSE, in Baltimore County Public Schools. I am currently working toward my master's degree in educational technology and leadership from Loyola University, Maryland. As part of my program, I completed an internship in my office to help OSE staff improve their ability to provide online professional development to special education teachers in Baltimore County Public Schools, as well as to improve the overall quality of their professional development. This website serves as both my key concepts portfolio as well as my internship portfolio. Its purpose is to share my learning as well as my internship presentation and reflections during my internship in the Office of Special Education. I had 3 goals during my internship. The first goal was to work with OSE staff in order to help them create and administer an online professional development session in the form of either a webinar or a video tutorial. The second goal was to create an online professional development presentation that meets the accessibility standards that BCPS has established. My third goal was to create 3 online professional development sessions designed specifically for OSE staff on the topic of delivering better online professional development. During the internship, I was able to meet either the whole goal or at least part of all 3 goals. The planning for my internship began over the spring of 2018. The first step was to interview selected staff members to get a brief idea of their stance on the current state of professional development within the Office of Special Education. I was attempting to gauge Eli's first condition of change, which was dissatisfaction. What I found was what I expected, that OSE staff were dissatisfied with the current way in which we delivered professional development to the teachers and special ed leaders within BCPS. Knowing that a goal for our office was to provide more online professional development, I decided to focus my internship on providing the technology leadership and knowledge and skill to OSE staff so that we could begin to shift the way in which we offer professional development. Once we returned to work in August, I sent out a brief technology survey focused on the comfort and use of presentation software to deliver online presentation. Basically, I wanted to see how comfortable people were with using online presentation software. What I found was that while most of those surveyed could use PowerPoint to create a face-to-face presentation, we do that all the time, only about half felt comfortable using technology specifically audio and video tools. And only about 17% of those surveyed indicated that they were comfortable delivering a professional development online. What I found very encouraging was that nearly 89% stated they would be willing to learn software to be able to deliver professional development online. At this point, I felt that Eli's condition of participation would not be a problem. I also was able to determine that most of the staff in OSE were at the adaptation stage in the ACOP model. My goal then became to move more individuals to the appropriation stage. I then met with OSE leadership to review my internship proposal. OSE leadership was excited about the internship and that the goals I had for my internship aligned with the goals in OSE. I spoke with the leadership regarding resources, incentives, and commitment. Because I had such a high rate of interest, I wasn't sure if I was going to need incentives. However, I felt that both Eli's conditions of resources and commitment would be met. The condition of time was one that I was worried about. I know how busy everyone can be during the school year, and I wasn't sure if this condition would be met or not. Overall, though, I felt I was in a good position to begin my internship from both a leadership stance and from a commitment stance from our leadership team. There were 2 parts to my internship. The first was to work specifically with individuals in OSE to help them use technology to create online professional development. While there were many individuals who I could have worked with, I decided to start with 3. I chose these 3 individuals based on 2 reasons. The first was that all 3 were willing to work with me during the fall. And 2, all of them had projects that we needed to apply technology to get them in an online format. So I thought this kind of worked really well with what my goal was for my internship. And plus, sticking with only 3 people I felt would be the most manageable and would allow me to devote sufficient time during the semester to each individual. The 3 individuals I worked with were Jackie, Jason, and Linda. All 3 had similar needs, in terms of their technology needs. However, they were not at the same level with their technology ability. And I found that I had to kind of differentiate how I worked with each one with that. For each of the 3 individuals that I worked with, I decided to create an individual action plan. And while in my internship, I did have an overarching timeline, I felt that because I was working individually with 3 people, that each one basically had their own separate timeline going on concurrently at the same time. So I included those within my portfolio. Over the course of the fall, though, I would work with each of these individuals multiple times on their own projects and goals. Jackie was the first one, and she was tasked with creating an online video tutorial series to be used to train additional adult staff within BCPS. The idea was that this would be a series of short video tutorials that could be administered online or face-to-face. We set our goals at the first session to include learning how to use some of the audio and video editing software, as well as to create an online video tutorial. Jackie felt comfortable around technology, but had never created a video. So I worked with her to use Windows Movie Maker to edit video content that she was then able to record. We used the editing features to add narration as well as the title and text slides. This was new learning for her. When we were finished editing, I showed Jackie how to save the file as an MP4 and upload it to YouTube. And from there, they could use it however they wanted. With Jackie, there was one setback. We did not get as much video footage as we initially had hoped for. So, again, this project kept getting pushed back. And I noticed that this is one of those setbacks that you find within your internship, that the OSE leadership basically decided to kind of put this project a little bit on the back burner. Not much I can do about that in terms of getting more video. However, we were able to work with what we had, the little that we did have. So what I decided to do at that point was to use the short little footage that we did have and use it basically as a training tool for Jackie to practice using the video and audio editing tools. And that's what we were basically able to do. This way, when we do eventually get the footage, Jackie will have the practice and skills that she needs, or have the practice and the skills she needs to begin the process of recording the actual real videos. Of the 3 people I worked with, Jason had the most technology skills. However, just like Jackie, he did not know how to create online presentations. With Jason, we set goals to create and administer an online professional development and to edit and record a video using a screen recorder, as well as captioning the video for accessibility. And that was an additional piece that we worked on. We actually used a PowerPoint presentation that was already created. It was something that Jason had done over the summer, but we wanted to make that and put that online. So we set out to narrate, record, and caption the PowerPoint and save it as a video. At that point, I introduced Jason to Screencast-O-Matic to record and caption the video. I also taught Jason how to save the file and upload it to YouTube for future use. We did run into some technical problems on this with the captioning, but after a bit of troubleshooting, we were able to find a workaround. What happened was the captioning kind of, the audio kind of only ran about 2/3 of the presentation, and for some reason the last third of the video didn't have any audio to it. So we had to kind of mess with the program a little bit to figure out how to fix that, but we were able to find a workaround for that. And overall, I believe Jason learned the technology quickly and was able to independently edit by the end of our series of work sessions. So I felt like at the end he was able to do this on his own, which I was very proud of. Linda was on the lowest level on the ACOT model when I began working with her. She had the least amount of both the experience and comfort with technology. Linda's goals were similar to Jason's, however. Linda needed to take a PowerPoint presentation and narrate, caption, and record it for online use. So her goals included creating an online video tutorial, as well as using video editing tools to caption the video. However, in addition, Linda also needed to develop an online assessment for this presentation, which was to be given to the IEP chairs in Baltimore County. Like with Jason, to begin with, I used Screencast-O-Matic to to record and caption her video. Linda was able to pick up the technology, but it took a few more sessions until she felt completely comfortable. For the online assessment, I decided to use Kahoot. I chose this because it was simple to create and use, and I felt for Linda, with her skill level, this would be a good tool with which to start. Linda had no trouble creating and administering the Kahoot during her IEP chair meetings. I also taught Linda how to download the participant data from the various Kahoot sessions, so we could see how many questions people got right or wrong. This was also something that was very important for OSC leadership, and something Linda was tasked with doing that I was able to help her with. Again, of the three individuals I worked with, Linda came the furthest with respect to her technology skill. I found that working with individuals was very time consuming. It was a lot of sessions, a lot of days, and a lot of scheduling to go through, especially working with three people. But it was also the most rewarding, as I felt like I made a difference in each of their ability to use technology to create online professional development. I feel that each individual moved at least one step on that ACOP model, with all three moving pretty much to the appropriation stage. One thing I was concerned with at the beginning of the internship was the need for incentives, which is one of Eli's 8 conditions. But however, I found that all three participants were very internally motivated. So I found I did not need incentives in this case. Regardless, I thought that was part of my internship, that this part of my internship was pretty much a success. So the second part of my internship involved working with OSC leadership to develop short online video tutorials for our office. While we initially talked about a lot of topics at that meeting in August, we eventually settled on three that would support OSC staff and still be within the focus of my internship. Since my internship revolved around creating better online professional development, that was the focus of the three videos. These videos were meant to be short and informal in nature, since they would be primarily for only those within our office. The topic of the first video dealt with teaching the adult learner. As part of our jobs in OSC, we do a lot of teaching of adults. However, I didn't believe that as an office we had a knowledge of how adults learn best. I was able to take information that I learned during my internship from researchers such as Fullen, Knowles, Aguilar, and Joyce and Showers, and apply their findings in this video. Once this video was recorded and uploaded to YouTube, we could then post it either to the OSC website, or more than likely it will go up on Schoology. The next video I created was a brief tutorial on how to use Screencast-O-Matic. This was a basic overview on how to set up, record, and save files. My thought was that this would be a starter video for those looking to record presentations in this manner. It definitely didn't get into too much depth at this point, and that was by design. I did run into an interesting technical challenge when making this video, though. I found that I couldn't use the Screencast software to make a video of me using the Screencast software, because the program would only allow me to open one version of the screen recorder at a time. At first, I wasn't sure how I was going to record myself using Screencast, but then I determined that I needed to use a separate screen recorder. So I used Loom, which is a Google tool, to be able to show the features of the Screencast software. So I basically had to use two Screencast softwares to make this presentation. And this proved to work out pretty well, but it was something that I did not think of prior to this recording, and I had to kind of find a workaround there. So the third and final tutorial video that I created was on the accessibility features of PowerPoint. Over the past year, BCPS has adopted accessibility standards called we call them WCAG, which is Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, and they are applied to all of our online information. Anything that goes online from our office has to adhere to these standards, including the website and any information posted online for use. I was actually pretty surprised to learn that as the Office of Special Education, we had not historically created our professional development presentations to be accessible to people with disabilities, which is kind of ironic. So this was something that I thought was very important to do. My thought with focusing on just PowerPoint was that the program that was the program that almost all of our entire staff utilized to create their PD. I figured I'd get the most bang for the buck, essentially. And this video, again, provides a general overview of the basic accessibility features of PowerPoint. My intention in the future will be to expand on this and create a series of videos that may help people understand and apply these standards. During the internship, there were many key concepts that applied to my work. As you can see, these key concepts focused on my ability to apply technology to assess and evaluate, to apply technology models, to use technology to ensure equitable access, to apply models of professional development to begin the change process, and to improve technology integration by utilizing my own self-evaluation and reflection. I believe that this internship was really a culmination of all of the knowledge and skills that I learned during the entire program. Even though I only focused on these key concepts, there were many other standards that could have been applied to this project that I did not talk about here. One of the things I spent a lot of time doing was reflecting on this internship process. There were some things that I thought were very successful, and other things I think I would like to either change or plan for differently. Looking back, I think the biggest thing I would plan for is the factor of time. I felt like I had enough time allotted over the course of the internship when working with OSE staff. However, what I didn't account for was that with the nature of our jobs, I found that we were constantly rescheduling sessions, and we would have a session scheduled and we'd have to cancel because we'd have something pushed into our schedule. And I found that that this caused me kind of a little bit of it was a little bit of a stressor on me, particularly toward the end of the semester when I wanted to get some of these projects wrapped up. I did feel I had great support from OSE leadership, however, and they worked with me during the whole process. Looking back again, I think that this was a very important factor for the internship success. Without the support of OSE leadership, I don't think I would have been able to do the work that I've done. In addition, I also felt that I developed a lot as a technology leader. I felt very confident working with the individuals. And as the internship progressed, I found that more and more people in our office came to me when they had technology questions. Looking forward, I feel very excited about what I can do to continue the work to improve professional development that our office provides. I would like to expand the participation to other individuals. I'd like to expand the video tutorial library, and I'd like to continue to provide accessible information and move into working with people to deliver actually more synchronous sessions, including live webinars. I think that's a direction I'd like to go going forward. I feel like our office had a great start, but we are definitely just at the beginning. So I just want to say thank you for all of your time, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation. If you have any questions or feedback, please feel free to contact me. I look forward to hearing from you.